Namaskar. This week we enter one of the most inspiring, spiritually charged, psychologically transformative texts in Sanatana Dharma, the Markandeya Purana. If the Brahmanda Purana is a scripture of cosmic creation, the Markandeya Purana is the scripture of inner transformation. If Brahmanda tells you how the universe is built, Markandeya tells you how you are built and how strong you truly are. And if Brahmanda reveals the architecture of the cosmos, Markandeya reveals the architecture of courage, surrender, and victory. So this Purana stands on two pillars. The heroic story of young Markandeya, who conquered death through devotion. The Devi Mahatmya, the 700 verse scripture of Durga Lakshmi Saraswati, the divine feminine force that protects, guides, and empowers humanity. So let us begin. This Purana begins with the unforgettable story of a boy destined to die at 16, that is Markandeya. But the destiny can write only one side of the story. Devotion writes the other. On the 16th birthday of young Markandeya, Yama, the lord of death, arrives to take him away. But what does Markandeya do? Does he panic? Does he plead? Does he collapse? No. He walks straight to the Shivalingam, embraces it tightly, and chants the Maha Mrityunjaya mantra with unbroken focus. Mrityunjaya Mahadeva Trahimam Saranagata. That means, O Lord, who conquers death, protect me who has surrendered completely. When Yama throws his nose, it accidentally lands over the Shivalinga. In that moment, the linga splits open and Shiva himself emerges in blazing fury. He protects Markandeya, punishes Yama, and grants the boy immortality. So, for the modern psychological analogy, Yama represents fear of failure, fear of the future, fear of loss, fear of judgment, fear of uncertainty. And Markandeya teaches you, do not run from fear, run towards truth. Fear bows before devotion. Destiny bows before courage. Death bows before surrender. This is not mythology. It is a science of resilience. Markandeya's mind enters what modern psychology calls the flow state, total immersion, total surrender, total focus. So, when the mind becomes unwavering, fear becomes powerless. And then comes Devi Mahatmya, the war within. The centerpiece of Markandeya Purana is Devi Mahatmya, the 700 verse scripture where the Divine Mother fights forces of chaos to restore balance. These demons are not external monsters, they are internal patterns. Each battle represents a psychological struggle. Madhu and Kaitaba, the confusion and laziness. When the mind becomes dull, sleepy, and unfocused, these demons arise. Mahishasura, ego. Ego is stubborn, heavy, insensitive, like a buffalo. And Raktabija, that is the multiplying negative thoughts. So one negative thought creates 10 more, then 100, like a virus with infinite copies. Shumba and Nishumba, doubt and insecurity. These are the two twin enemies. I am not good enough. And what if I fail? The Devi Mahatmya teaches that you are not defeated by outside enemies. You are defeated by inner blindness. So the Divine Mother's protection. One of the most powerful devotional slokas in the Purana is the hymn to Sakti. Ya Devi Sarva Bhudeshu. Sakti Rupena Sansita. That is, and Namastase, 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 Namo Namaha. That is the salutation to the Divine Mother who exists in all beings as power. Think of this, Shakti is not outside you. She is inside you as strength, clarity, compassion, and courage. And when ego collapses, that is the Mahishasura moment. Mahishasura symbolizes ego that refuses to listen, refuses to learn, refuses to change. Have you seen people whose stubbornness destroys their career, their relationship, their peace, their health? This is Mahishasura. And how does Devi defeat him? With a spear of clarity, with a sword of self awareness, with a shield of discipline. The message is simple. You cannot kill ego with ego. You can kill ego only with awareness. And how the Devi Mahatmya matches neuroscience. Modern neuroscience says the brain creates fear circuits. Negative thoughts multiply like Rakta Bija. Ego resides in the limbic system. Doubts arise from the prefrontal cortex. Focus strengthens neural pathways. So the Devi Mahatmya explains the same concept through divine stories. When Durga slays demons, it symbolizes neural purification. When Kali drinks the blood of Rakta Bija to prevent it from multiplying, it symbolizes cutting the cycle of repetitive negative thought loops. And when Saraswati inspires clarity, it symbolizes enhancement of intelligence and learning. And when Lakshmi appears, it symbolizes stability, order, and prosperity. Our ancestors knew psychology long before psychology existed. And the compassionate goddess, Lakshmi, Saraswati, and Kali. So Devi Mahatma includes three major energies. Lakshmi for stability and prosperity represents grounding, security, and confidence. Saraswati, wisdom and clarity, represents knowledge, communication, insight, learning. And Kali, breaker of illusion, represents raw awareness, the shock that breaks negative patterns. And Sarva Mangala Mangalye Sive Sarva Artha Sadhike Sharanye Trayambage Gauri Narayani Namostute. O goddess who brings auspiciousness, fulfills all goals, and protects all beings, we bow to you. And the modern metaphor unique to Markandeya Purana. Let us apply this Purana to today's world. Markandeya clinging to the Shivalingam. This is value based living. When storms hit your life, hold on to truth, integrity, devotion, discipline, not to fear, not to panic. And Durga riding a lion represents the human mind riding on courage. Your lion is your inner strength, and Kali's outstretched tongue represents the shock treatment needed to break addiction or destructive habits. Rakta Bija multiplying represents anxiety loops, overthinking, gossip, social media addiction, negativity, self pity. One drop becomes thousand. And Shumba and Nishumba represent today's two biggest threats comparison, insecurity. Social media has made this worse, but Devi destroys both through clarity and self respect. And the leadership lessons from this Purana. A leader must have Durga's courage, Lakshmi's balance, Saraswati's intelligence, Kali's decisiveness. If you lead a home, a company, a team, or a nation, this Purana is your textbook. It teaches power without compassion becomes tyranny. Compassion without power becomes weakness. Balance both become Durga. And Abhayam Sarva Bhudebhyo Dadami Edat Vratam Mama. That is, I grant fearlessness to all beings. This is my divine vow. So, what a declaration! This is not a blessing, it is a contract between the Divine Mother and humanity. Fearlessness is your right. And to message for the students and youth, this Purana tells every young person your age does not decide your strength, Your circumstances do not decide your future. Your devotion decides your destiny. And Markandeya did not have resources. He had courage, he had focus, he had surrender. That is enough. And message for the professionals. This Purana teaches Mahishasura equal to inflated ego. Shumba is overconfidence, Nishumba is insecurity. Raktabija, multiplying problem. And Kali, bold decisions. Saraswati, thoughtful strategy. Lakshmi, financial wisdom. Durga, balanced leadership. So, a professional must integrate all eight. And for the households, the Devi Mahatma teaches families unity is power, anger destroys, passion wins, prayer heals, values protect, service purifies, gratitude attracts abundance. A home where Devi is remembered becomes a Shakti Pidam. And Janani Janma Bhumisha Swargadabi Garyasi. Mother and motherland are greater than heaven. Markandeya Purana celebrates motherhood, biological, spiritual, universal. So, Markandeya Purana ends with the truth. You are not weak, you are not limited, you are not small, you are a child of the Divine Mother, capable of greatness beyond imagination. And your fears are temporary. Your spirit is eternal. Your doubts are momentary. Your courage is timeless. So, friends, if these teachings resonate with you, if you believe Sanatana Dharma must shine brighter, if you want weekly wisdom in a simple, powerful, practical way, I humbly invite you to join me on my channel Yoga, Dhyana and Dharma, where the ancient wisdom meets modern clarity. Please watch, subscribe, and share. Let us walk this dharmic path together. And as you step into the new week, remember, walk like Markandeya, unafraid. Fight like Durga with clarity. Think like Saraswati with wisdom. Shine like Lakshmi with dignity. Act like Kali with courage. And above all, never let fear decide your decisions. Let Shakti decide your destiny. Have a wonderful week ahead. Best regards, Raju Krishnan, Hyderabad.